All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty revolutionary way to think about building wealth. It's got nothing to do with working harder, but everything to do with working smarter. We're talking about the systematized secret. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's kick things off with this quote because, man, it just cuts right to the chase. I want you to really let this sink in. You could be a freelancer, a small business owner, whatever. But if your income totally stops the second you decide to take a vacation, are you really building a business? Or have you just created a really, really demanding job for yourself?
And look, that feeling that you're just running in place on a treadmill, it's not just in your head. For a lot of people, the traditional path just isn't working out. Get this, a full 23% of all bachelor's degrees, that's almost a quarter, actually have a negative return on investment. So yeah, it's no wonder people are searching for a better way to build real wealth and, real freedom.
And this all leads us to something I call the high-paying job trap. It's sneaky, but it's super powerful, and it keeps a lot of really talented people from ever truly scaling their success.
So many people, maybe you're one of them, get stuck in what we'll call the apply stage. This is where you're trading every single hour you have to make a pretty good income, right? Maybe it's even 10 grand a month. But here's the catch. You are the business. You're the one on the hamster wheel. And if you stop running, well, the wheel stops turning and the money stops coming in.
So the big question is, how do you get off that hamster wheel? Well, the very first, most critical step is to systematize. This is where you actually build the blueprint for your escape.
And this right here is a massive shift in how you think. Moving from that apply stage to the systematize stage is all about going from working in your business, doing all the little tasks yourself, to working on your business. You're not just trading your time for dollars anymore. You're building a real scalable asset.
So what does this actually look like? Well, let's take a real-world example. There was this super successful YouTube Shorts editor, but he was working nonstop, totally burned out. So he did something absolutely brilliant. He started writing down every single step of what he did. He documented it all, how he picked the clips, the rules for adding text, which fonts he always used, his exact final export settings. He literally turned his skill into an instruction manual.
And once you've got that instruction manual, you unlock the very next level, delegation. This is where you finally get to build your golden goose.
Now, here's a huge mistake a lot of people make. They think, okay, now I have to go find another me, somebody who's a highly skilled expert who can do everything I can do. But let me tell you, the answer to that question is a hard no. That's doing it the hard way, and trust me, it's not scalable.
Instead, what you do is you deconstruct the role. You take that one big, complex job, Shorts editor, and you break it down into much smaller, simpler tasks. So now, you don't need a genius. You just need someone who's good at finding clips and someone else who can add the text, another person to do a final review, and maybe a fourth person just to post it. You can hire way less skilled people for these little specific jobs, which makes building your team so much easier and cheaper.
See, by creating a system and then delegating the tasks inside that system, you create what we call a golden goose, a business that just runs and generates income, lays those golden eggs even when you're not there. Your job completely changes. You go from being the worker to being the quality controller, just overseeing this beautiful system you built.
Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, this sounds great for an online business or some digital thing, but that's where you'd be wrong. Actually, one of the biggest opportunities out there is applying this exact thinking to old school, boring industries.
Seriously, think about it. All around you are businesses like laundromats, car washes, self-storage places, and a lot of them are run by people who are kind of stuck in the past with messy, cash-only systems and paper receipts everywhere. Your unfair advantage is being the person who can walk in and just apply modern, clean systems to these essential, boring businesses. Let's just look at this side by side. Your traditional laundromat, it's cash only, walk-in only, and the owner basically has to be there every single day. But a systematized laundromat, it uses some all-in-one platform for automated billing and online booking. And the most important part, the owner's time commitment just plummets from a daily grind to maybe a couple of hours a week. And all that while making the business way more efficient and profitable. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, so we've covered applying, then systematizing, then delegating. But there is one final, and honestly, the most powerful step in this entire framework.
Here it is. The ultimate form of leverage is to stop just applying your system and start educating other people on it. You take that perfected blueprint you created for your own business and you package it up. Maybe it's a course or a community. The point is, you only have to create it one time, but you can sell it an infinite number of times. That is how you truly, completely separate your time from your income.
So here it is, the whole journey on one slide. It's a clear path. You start by applying the skill. You're the one doing the work. Then you systematize, you create the instruction manual. Next, you delegate, you build a team to run that manual for you. And finally, you educate, you sell the manual itself. That's how you get maximum leverage and ultimately, real freedom.
So after hearing all this, the most common excuse people come up with is, I just don't have the time. But let's actually take a closer look at that, shall we?
Okay, look. There are 168 hours in every single week. For everyone. Even if you have a full-time job or you're in school, there is still a ton of time left over. The question isn't, do you have the time? The real question is, are you willing to use your free time to build a system? Because that's what it is. It's a choice.
And that really brings us to this final thought. It's so easy to reach for the magnifying glass, right? To blame everything else. The economy, the system, your bad luck. But real change, real progress, that only starts when you stop all that and you pick up the mirror instead. It starts when you take full responsibility for your own wealth and your own future.
So I'll leave you with this question. Just think about your skills, your job, your side hustle. What's the very first process you can start to document? What's the first system you're going to build? The path is laid out right here. The opportunity is totally yours for the taking.